Hi there, this is Karen Flaherty from Living by Human Design. Hope you're doing well and hope you're enjoying the holidays. If you're with family or by yourself or getting some time alone, with any of those above are great options, and I hope you're enjoying them. Today we're going to be talking about the Gate 38, which is typically called the Gate of the Fighter, and it's about knowing what's worth fighting for, really. So the sun in Gate 38 starts this evening, actually almost midnight on December 30th. It goes until January 5th around noon. And while the 38 comes here off the root, the Earth, and that's in the sun, in the Earth, we've got the Gate 39, which is over here and is the Gate of Provocation and does connect to the 55 again, because the 55 is still in Jupiter, and it connects to the 55, which does give us energy in the emotional solar plexus again, as well as in the root. So we start the week as usual with the 2034 and the 6124 still in, but we also get this 3955, which is called the Channel of Emoting, and it is all about emotions, and it is one of the individual emotional energies, and so it's very it can be quite high highs and low lows on the emotional wave. That doesn't necessarily mean that if you're not emotional, you're going to feel those, but you'll certainly feel it around you. There is the possibility of that in people around you and possibly in yourself as well. So this sun in Gate 38 is called the Fighter. It's opposition or the fighter in the original I Ching, and this is the ability to preserve individual integrity through opposition to detrimental forces. It's really knowing that you have a fight in you. Most people with the Gate 38 do. And when it's for no reason or no purpose, it can be pretty aggressive sometimes. It can be, on the repressive side, it can actually be defeatist, where you might think, for example, why even bother? There's no end to poverty. So why even try to help people in that regard, for example? But knowing what's worth fighting for is what this gate is all about. So you find a purpose, put your energy toward it. It's all about action. It's very much in the, coming off the root. So it's very much about action, taking action, making things happen. And it can be seen as the underdog sometimes. These are basically our heroes in the world, and they find a way. They find a purpose, they find a passion, and then they fight for it. And it's really great to see when it's for that higher purpose. It's not so great to see when it's not for a higher purpose. In the incarnation crosses this week are the crosses of tension. You can imagine that there would be some tension when we've got both the Fighter and the Gate of Provocation together. That can create tension definitely in relationships. The cross of opposition, and the cross of individualism. And then that Gate 39, as I said, is the Gate of Provocation, also called obstruction or provocation in the original I Ching. It's the value of obstruction in provoking analysis, assessment, and reevaluation. So it really is there for a purpose. It's always to help provoke people to get to their higher purpose, or to get to the goals that they're out to receive, that they want to receive. And it can be very analytical. It's about assessment. It's about reevaluation. It's about figuring out how to do the provoking or the provocation in a way that makes sense, right? In a way that is not just teasing for the sake of teasing, or nudging, or cajoling. It's really there in a way to provoke people to get, we think of it as, in the Gene Keys, provocation is the shadow, dynamism is the gift, and liberation is the CD. So in the Gene Keys, the Gene Key 38 is the shadow is struggle, the gift is perseverance, and the CD is honor. And so in these graphics, Richard says, for example, struggle defines us, sharpens us, and hones us. It is a gift from the higher realms. And so there is a reason for the struggle. Once we find our purpose, once we know what we're fighting for, we can go on and have that action and really be forces to reckon with. In a way. He also says, if there's nothing left to fight for, you may cease to exist. Because if we don't feel, it's a very basic instinct within us to be able to fight for for our food, for our shelter, for our families, for our countries, first world countries, we don't have to fight like that anymore. We don't have necessarily those things to fight for. And that's what leads to the lower energies of the struggle, because if people feel like they don't have a purpose, if they don't have something to fight for, then they feel as if there's no purpose to life, right? It's kind of a defeatist attitude, or it can be, that's in the repressive way. In the more reactive way, it can be quite aggressive. And so even though people might not think they have anything to fight for, they're going to fight anyway, because it's a very natural instinct within us. The gift here is perseverance. And here we go from struggling because there is no purpose into perseverance because there is a purpose, right? We find a higher purpose. We find something we're passionate about. We find something we really do want to fight for. And all of a sudden we have the energy to do that. We have the energy to do it, and to do it until it's done, until it's completed, until it really makes a difference in the world. And that's the kind of energy this is. It's a very potent energy. Here we learn the difference between meeting obstacles and fighting resistance. So it's like we learn the difference between meeting obstacles when they're in our way, on our way to our passion and purpose, versus fighting resistance to doing anything, right? To fighting resistance to having any purpose at all. When we have the purpose, it's a lot easier to meet those obstacles and to get past them. And so also he says to honor someone is to hold them to their highest frequency, no matter what their current frequency may be. And that's where the honor comes in. That's where the highest frequency within this gene key is honoring other people. When we can honor others, we can hold them to their highest frequency, and not see, or basically see past what it is that is actually in front of us. So it's probably a little bit not seeing the reality of a situation sometimes, but wanting to get past it and really honoring that, or believing that others have that honor within them, and that we can see it and move past whatever the current situation looks like. Got a number of people who are fighters, who get things done, who have found their passions, and in lots of different ways. So again, it's the right angle cross of tension, opposition, and individualism. And then this week in history, we've got a number of things that happened, but a lot of them had to do with governmental things where for example, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the slaves in the Confederacy on January 1st in 1863. And that opened the door, that obviously opened the doors and changed the outcome of the Civil War, as that changed the outcome for so many. For the freeing of so many slaves in the South. Alaska came into the Union as a state, and I believe Hawaii did also, in the first few days of the next year, 1960. And then this was something interesting. On January 5th, in 1914, Henry Ford astounded the world as he announced that he'll pay a minimum wage of $5 a day, which was a lot of money in those days, and share with his employees $10 million from the previous year's profit. So I suspect that was the first instance of profit sharing in the United States, if not in the world, and helped pave the way for employees' rights and benefits. So I wish you a very happy new year. I hope you enjoy, as I said, time with your family or time by yourself, however you're deciding to spend this week. Hopefully you'll get a little time off and some rest and recuperation after the holiday season, and think about what's worth fighting for. What's worth fighting for this year that you might want to put in your goals or put in your plan or in your journal, that would bring you to another level, that might bring you to a different level of looking at things and parsing them and figuring out whether it's important to you or not. If something's important to you, whether it's, and there are so many different opportunities. Quietness, I think, of the past 2 years is about to end. I think we'll be getting out I'm not going to say things are going to be easy, but I think we'll be getting out more this year. And basically, if you can put your actions where your purpose is, that's the kind of energy this is. And so if you get inspired this week to find a purpose, find a new purpose, perhaps re-engage in a purpose that you've had previously, and it's a good time to start it up again. So whether it's for environmental actions or social justice or political actions or anything else, anything that lights your fire, this is a good time to think about it. And so I hope you have a wonderful week. Happy New Year, and I will see you in the next year. Take care. Bye.